Every month you wait is another 30 days of lost momentum. So this video will piss some people off, and what we all have noticed over the last few years is that the game is rigged. In this video, I'm going to share with you the exact blueprint I wish I had when I was just getting started. Now, I'm not here to play it safe, I'm here to show you the path to freedom. The path that I personally took and the path that thousands of other men are now taking to escape the system. And this isn't just how to escape the West and Canada, but this is also how to find the best places in the world to live in and completely reinvent yourself. This is where the most ambitious people are going to build their life. Places like Colombia, Thailand, Panama, Dubai, and even Miami. So I'll show you exactly the place to go depending on where you're at in your journey and how each place can shape and transform your life. We all know that the West and Canada is just not working out for a lot of people. The taxes, the inflation, the cultural rot, the femininity, and just overall the vibe isn't really what a lot of people are vibing with. You don't need a plan A or a plan B. You need to admit that the system is dying and to make a move before it just completely drags you down with it. So you don't need to be rich to leave. I know many people who have left the West and they didn't have a clue what they were going to do, and they didn't have much in their bank account. The very first thing you need to do is just to pick a destination and leave. Now, if you're just starting out or you're making 10K or just below 10K per month, then there's a few places that I recommend specifically. Thailand is got to be one of the most undefeated places to go to because it is a very low cost of living. It is a laid back lifestyle, people who are working online, entrepreneurs, and the networking out there is amazing. So Koh Samui is a little bit more of like a laid back beach life. They have Bangkok as well out there too. That's going to be a little bit more of the city life where you're going to have more opportunity to meet new people. And obviously the dating is going to be much better in Bangkok as well. So highly recommend Thailand. If you're in North America and you want to stay in the North American hours, then I recommend Colombia. Now, Colombia personally was one of my favorite places in the entire world. I actually spent 2 years there. I ended up spontaneously booking a one-way flight to Colombia, and I basically was to stay there for a couple months. And I ended up loving it so much that I got a digital nomad visa, which is so easy to get. I got like a lawyer, spent about $1,000. I had to show Colombia that I was making some sort of online income. And at the time I was doing remote closing, which I was making 5 to 10K per month. It was up and down depending on the month. And I was able to live so low compared to what I was living in Canada. And in Canada, I was probably living off of $1,500 to $2,000 a month. Now in Colombia, I was living off of $1,000 per month. I had my own studio. I was literally ordering 3 steaks daily to my house so that I could live on a carnivore diet. And it allowed me to save up a ton of money living in Colombia. So you can do this anywhere in the world. If you want to do it in Thailand and Colombia, I highly recommend it if you don't know, what online income path you want to do. Now, Panama is another great place. It is a place to set up for your taxes, to set up structure, and to have somewhere that is very simple and friendly, and they speak a lot of English in Panama as well. If you're making 10K, 30K, 50K per month, Dubai is the place to be. There's low taxes. It is a high status environment where you're going to connect with a ton of big players in the online space. It's a decent cost of living. It's high energy. And Dubai is just one of the places where you see on social media all these people flexing. They're buying all these supercars, these watches, and the penthouses. I'm sure you've seen it on YouTube and Instagram, but there's a reason why, and that's because the money is in Dubai. Same with Miami too, which is the other option I recommend. Miami is just a very fun place to go to. And I love Miami specifically because people there, they're very entrepreneurial, they're very health-minded people, and it's so easy to network in Miami because everybody there is basically an entrepreneur. They're in the online space. You can network easily, you can build a brand in Miami, you can date very well, and overall just live a really good life. Miami is not that cheap, but it does sharpen you. So Miami is one of the best places in North America to go to if you are a digital nomad or entrepreneur making 10, 50K per month plus. So you don't have to actually live in those places forever, but it definitely helps for you to make the huge transition. And your environment is complete leverage in your life. All of these places, when you move, you transform into a brand new person, which I think is absolute power, because if you're stuck in the West, you're back in Canada, Australia, you really are boxed into who you were in that place. If you go abroad, you completely start fresh, and it really helps because you want to be a creator, then people will say, cool, just prove it. You want to start working out, going to the gym, that's awesome. People are going to think you're the fitness guy. So there's a huge shift when you move to a new country, you move to a new city. This is going to be the fastest shift in your identity. It's better than any mindset hack will ever do for you. So let's get a little bit more tactical in this video. Now, in terms of online income, what you want to do is find something that will help you detach from your country and don't rely on the system. So that could be either remote closing, which I did personally, and I was making 5-10K per month USD. For me, this was the easiest way to start making online income and start to, transition into building a brand, all that kind of stuff, learning how it all works. That's not the end all be all. You can do freelancing, you can do copywriting, you can become a coach, YouTube. There's so many things that you can do, and learning how to utilize AI is also a great path to be able to get into online. Like you can start an AI agency where you're selling other businesses to help them with their AI and implement AI into them, which I know a lot of people are doing now, and they're making millions of dollars online. What you're going to want to do after that is to plant your flag. You can either set up residency in Panama, Georgia, or even Mexico, and this only takes like a couple $1,000s to do. But what it does is it gives you complete stability. After that, you're going to want to set up a bank account outside of the West, outside of Canada. If you want to move, you can do these in places like Singapore, Georgia, or even Panama. And then after that, you can legally exit the tax system. And on top of that, if you really want to build kind of like this mentality of planning roots, you can buy real estate for pennies on the dollar in these other places in the world. Like you can go to Medellin, Colombia, buy a condo for 60K. That would cost probably $500,000 in Canada, depending where you're at. I'm in Vancouver, so a lot of the real estate is the most expensive in the world. Now, for a second passport, this is really important. If you have ancestry, you can definitely utilize them, like if you're in Europe, to get your passport, or even in South America. So essentially, it's an insurance policy in your life. If something happens to your current passport, then you can always fall back on getting the second passport. But here's the dark truth, and that is that the most majority of people, they don't even leave the system. They'll end up talking about it, they'll complain, they'll post online, and they never make a move because they're scared. Why is that though? And that's because comfort kills. The devil you know is safer than the unknown. But here is the reality of the West and Canada. And that is that Canada is just, it's never going to go back to what it was. And even all of these other countries that are being affected, like the UK, Australia, all of the Western countries, it is a controlled demolition of the entire West. And I made another video of this. I'll post it right here. But it goes into why I decided to leave Canada, and I dive into a little bit more of the specifics of it. Your best years are being traded for safety and routine. You're realistically just one trip, one flight, even one city away from just completely changing the trajectory of your life. So I ended up building something for you guys. It's called the Sovereign Blueprint. I've learned so many things over the last 5 years of being in the online space, and I've spent over $50,000 on masterminds and mentorships. I've made multiple six figures. So I'm going to put this all in a PDF guide, and this PDF is going to walk you through exactly the business models to help you escape the system, how to pick your first country, set up online income, and ultimately just live the life of your dreams. So I'm going to put the link in the description and a comment below. It's only $49. It's no BS. And when you join, you get 30 days free in the Sovereign Society. And this is going to be a group of global guys like us who want to be around other guys who are, entrepreneurs, other business owners, and it's a community because you really are the 5 people you surround yourself with. I know when I was living in Canada, I found it very difficult to find that tribe of guys who were entrepreneurs. They're hungry, they're ambitious. So you get free access to this community. So I'll leave the link below in the description. So I wish that every single one of you watching this video gets to experience the acceleration, the adventure, and the life that I've been able to experience over the last 3 years of traveling, not only in South America, but in Europe and Eastern Europe. I was able to have the freedom to look at other countries, look at other cultures, learn new languages, maybe even look at starting a brand new life in a new area where it's almost like a dream. So if you're watching this video, I can promise you that if you do end up changing your environment, it is going to completely change your life. I really think that nothing is worse in this life than getting to the end of it and thinking like, fuck, I wish I took the plunge. I wish I had taken action or at least tried. Anyways, it was a pleasure and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll see you guys on the next one.